Hello, friends. This is Juan Carlos Campos once again from English 24/7. And today I would like to talk to you one of the most interesting concepts that I have learned about leadership and business and entrepreneurship. This is the concept of starting with your why. So this concept was created by the author Simon Sinek, that back in 2009 he had a very popular TED Talk, which in fact is the third most watched TED Talk of all time. And in this talk and in his book, actually, that goes by the name of Start with Why, he basically explains the importance of having a clear why and communicate it as much as possible. He explains that the best companies and the great leaders know what their why is, and they often communicate it to their public or to their market or to customers and clients as much as possible, so the people who have a similar belief, who have a similar objective, feels attracted to this same idea, to the same objective that you have, to your why, and will want to do a business with you and will want to work for you, not only for a paycheck but for achieving this concept and this belief that they possess. In the talk, he also explains three different stories about how companies and how leaders communicate successfully using their why and not their how and their what. And the first story is about a very famous company that you may actually be familiar with, which is the company of Apple. Yes, and he explains that Apple has a clear why, which is to challenge the status quo, to change the order of things, and to think in a different way. And the way that they do it is by designing beautiful computers, beautiful products that are easy to use. And what they do is basically to sell sell technological products. So, but they start with their why. They start with that concept of why they do things, which is once again to challenge the status quo, to think different. And the people who share the same idea, who feel that they are different, feel attracted to these products, and they won't be easily convinced to switch to a different brand, even though the Apple products are not probably the most innovative products out there now and are a little bit more expensive. They won't switch to another brand because they believe that if they buy an Apple product, they will be different. They are different from the rest, so they want to separate from the rest. So Apple is very successful sharing, communicating their why they do things. The second story, on the other hand, is about the Wright brothers. You know, the Wright brothers back in 1903 were the first people who built this flying machine, yes, manpower flying machine, and it took flight back in 1903. And even though they didn't have the best technology, they didn't have the resources, they didn't have the best team, they what they did have was this purpose, this belief, this objective that they wanted to achieve, which was to build this first machine, because if they built it, they knew that it would change the course of history. So all of the people in their staff shared this same purpose, this same idea, and wanted to work towards achieving this goal. And in the end, they did it. They created it, and indeed, it changed the course of history. The final story that Simon Sinek talks about in his book and in his TED Talk is about how Martin Luther King was able to gather 250,000 people in a summer day in a time when there was no technology and there was no internet. And how did he do it? Yes, and what Simon explains is that Martin Luther King had a clear why, which was to to have this idea of having this dream that one day little white children and little black children uh, would be able to play together one day. So all of the people who shared the same idea, who shared the same vision, gathered one day to hear him speak. So, do you communicate to your customers, to your clients, to your market, explaining your why, or do you communicate only your what and how you do things? If you don't have a why, Simon recommends that you take the time to do it, to think about it, and write it in simple words. It won't be easy though, because Simon explains that the why is related to the part that is controlled by your feelings, and feelings are not able to put into simple words. So when you, for example, explain why you love your husband or your girlfriend or your why, uh, it is very difficult to put it in simple words, and all you can come up with is just because he compliments me, and that's not a clear answer. So that's why it is difficult to put it into words. However, you should take the time to do it and explain it and communicate it as much as possible to, once again, to your public. My own personal why is to basically innovate English language teaching so that my clients can achieve the next level of their professional and personal life. The way I do it, how I do it, is by using this special methodology. And what I do is to basically to teach languages to people, English especially. And this is the way I usually communicate to people, instead of just explaining that I teach English. But what about you? Do you have a clear why? Do you often communicate it to people as much as possible? If you don't, I recommend that you watch Simon Sinek's TED Talk, which is on YouTube, and you will be blown away, and will give you some food for thought, and start thinking about how you again communicate to people. So let me know what your why is. Comment down below, and if you found this video interesting, hit like. And finally, if you ever feel like practicing your English, you need to improve your speaking skills, feel free to send me an inbox or comment down below, and my staff and I will be, or will do our best to help you achieve and improve your English speaking skills. So this is Juan Carlos once again from English 24/7, and I'll see you on another video. Have a good rest of the week. Take care. Bye bye. Cheers. Bye bye.